Hello there, I'm Goji. I'm the current moderator for Godzilla Destroy Monsters Melee on speedrun.com, where I'm talking about any percent. This will be a fighting lore guide, to help you get set up and start doing runs. So I'll have settings stuff, I will have rules, guide tips for current meta, and all of that. So yeah, don't be dumb and have modded versions of a game. These are fun to mess around with, but don't run them. Run a vanilla version, like this is a vanilla one. Let's pop that open. I'm definitely not having to record this for the third time as OBS crashed or anything like that. No, that'd be real funny, wouldn't it? That'd be so silly. If you're emulating, feel free to have a save state that brings you right to your character select screen like I do. If you're on console, just boot it up like normal. So emulating's fine, console's fine, whatever you feel like. Just have a good method to record. If the quality's bad, I probably won't approve it, because I need quality that's decent. I've gotten runs recorded on Nintendo 3DS before, and I'm sorry. That's this is 2023. Why are you doing this? Why is that our standard? Anyways, settings, there's nothing too crazy. We play on easy, so it'll be the fastest run. I'll make the AI most cooperative, which in heavy quotes saying that the AI is cooperative in this game. Nothing else too crazy. Make sure there is some in-game audio. You can turn music down if you want to have your own stuff in the background. I do that personally. Not required, but just make sure the game audio is audible. That is important for verification. And then everything else should be set since we're doing adventure mode and not main multiplayer stuff. So we pop into adventure, we're on easy. You can play whoever you want, it really doesn't matter. But the current meta is Godzilla. You're free to lab or play as anyone. There's no rule saying you have to only play Godzilla. It's a very open run. So if you think there's someone who's faster from this character, go for it. Make a new meta. That's maybe area based, but if you want to play meta, you go for Godzilla. And then you just start up and you start time once you can control the character. So control will be like right now when I can start moving, and then I'll hop over to my current PB to show some tips for the run. So I'll be back in just a bit. Alright, we're back. I had to do some rescaling, I forgot I have my whole setup here for border also on this scene. It's fine, it's only stacked up twice. So hopping into the run here. I hit K. Why are we not playing the run? Here we go. Thanks YouTube, I appreciate you being cooperative. So yeah, we select Godzilla. Run starts once you gain control, so I move over there, so that's when I gain control. I started the time a little bit earlier so I could just have fresh running, so I didn't worry about it and controlling the character at the same time. And I'll just take the time off until I kind of put together the final run time and all of that. So stage 1 in Gears, here we go. So immediately first thing you want to do, which I mess up here, is you want to jump over close to this barrier on this side. So you want to get over here to all these trains. These are all throwable, and throwable stuff does an absurd amount of damage. So you want to jump close to this barrier without actually jumping into it. So this will lure Gears to also do the same, but we'll jump into the barrier. So I messed that up. I'm a little too far away from it, so Gears jumps over this little wall here, which you don't want. You want Gears outside of this wall, kind of out here on the street. It can be further away, but preferably right here, so the trains don't have to go as far a distance, which means less time. But if Gears is too close, like in here, Godzilla will try to grab Gears instead of the trains. And obviously, you want to use the trains to get your damage in. So when Gears does jump in, like in this case, just throw him out. You can throw him out, you can use back kick to get him out. Any of those options work. And yeah, you start throwing trains. Personally, I'm okay if you use a macro for the grab input. If you're using a controller that isn't the GameCube one, that's fine. But I use the GameCube controller, so I just hit A and B. It's not a big deal. It's not that difficult. But I'm not going to roast you if you use a macro. A thing to note, Gears did get launched there, so you want to be very conscious if your the character you're throwing stuff at gets launched. So you see, I waited out here. So if I throw it right at this moment, it would just miss. So you have to wait for the character to land, and then you throw. So that ensures that it'll actually hit. The game is very bad at tracking characters in air when you throw stuff at them. So wait for a full landing, like there again. That was a shorter launch. This distance isn't great, because the trains have to go a lot of distance here before we hit, so it's not the fastest. If Gears was right here, this would be done significantly quicker. But this is fine. It's still like outside of your little bubble here, so you want to keep Gears out of his bubble with all your trains. And you just keep throwing them. You have plenty, or you have way more than you need to take out the full health bar. Should be fine. And I'm gonna unmute this run here, so I want to play this audio cue, because there's a skip here you can use to skip your victory animation. So you're gonna hear the announcer say some stuff, and when you hear that, that's your time to jump in. So if you do that, you're stuck in the air and you can't do your victory animation, and it just skips it, and you just move on. It's a little bit faster. So there you go. So yeah, just understand my timing, practice a little bit, hear those audio cues. That's also another reason why you want to have audio on. It just makes that easier. You can kind of guesstimate it once you understand the timing, but having like the extra audio just helps sum it out a little bit more. Alright, Gaigan. Gaigan is funny. This character has a teleport, and teleport just kind of negates a lot of your tools you use to delete the health. So you want to get Gaigan on a street here. This one we spawn on is good. This one here is good. There's another one down here is fine. A few off screen here further away are also good. Really, any of the streets work fine. Even the one behind you here. We try to go for this one. Preferably, it's like we're already here. We spawn to this one. We just go for it. We ball, you know. So there's a few things I can do. I can try to shoot a beam at you, go throw a building at you. If you go for immediate stuff like just launching missiles or going for a beam. Gaigan might teleport, it happens, it's awful. So you want to be very careful when you throw out your missiles, so you can have all of them actually hit the character, instead of Gaigan just teleporting behind and you wasted a missile. I could have thrown Gaigan like down this way if I wanted to, but I threw Gaigan back over here. And now Gaigan's stuck in a few buildings, got a few missiles, not the most damage, just not a lot of them hit, unfortunately. It's still a little bit. I'm using this move back kick. We go right frame here. It has a lot of great range here. Let's go back. I wish that feature worked a bit better. But it has a lot of great reach. Solid hitbox, comes out pretty fast. Like, look at that. Solid space coverage and everything. Quick move. It's just great to throw out a neutral. And also it knocks them down. And when opponents knocked down, that's a great time to do missiles because they can't avoid them. So the reason we go for hallways here is that it makes it less likely we're going to be able to strafe around these missiles. So that's the best way to avoid them, is to walk to the side, and they can't do that if they're in the hallway. So you just funnel them through with all these missiles, get a lot of damage with those two. Look at that DPS. Buildings, once again, do great. There's lots of throwable buildings here. That's an unblockable, by the way, the little chest laser that came out. Of course it's unblockable, this game is funny like that, all projectiles are unblockable. And it hits opponents on the ground, like Gaigan was still on the ground rolling around there. I throw another one out, it hit from all the way over there. So, good hitbox, is grounded for some reason, unblockable. Takes a little bit of meter, but not too much. Very silly. So your two neutral moves are back kick, and I believe that's back fierce. So you just do those two, great for neutral. Once you get knocked down from either back kick or building throw, you can do some missiles. And we're going to see later on with Ghidorah, you can loop building throws and missiles. We'll get to those later. So yeah, just be very aware Gaigan will teleport around and will be not cooperative. Try to get Gaigan lined up in those hallways there to ensure missiles hit. If you see Gaigan walking towards you or trying to be aggressive, that's a good time to missile. If Gaigan's treasuring up a beam, it's a good time to missile. If Gaigan has no meter, that means no teleport, and it's also a good time to missile if you're lined up. So just have that awareness of when it's good to launch those out, and it'll just come with practice. So, just all good things to keep in mind. Alright, Rodan. Rodan is difficult, because this one mechanic called flying. Rodan will just fly around and evade everything. There's only so much you can do about it. So, if Rodan is just flying around, you're just kind of out of luck. So, usually what I do for an opening here is I walk forward a little bit to about this area. Wait to see what Rodan does. Rodan flies in, does this funny somersault. This is super punishable. So once Rodan kind of comes up here after doing the loop, this is when you can start to punish. You have a long time to react to this, because Rodan has to fall all the way down. You can hit Rodan way earlier than you think, like there. You probably wouldn't think that's a punishable frame, but it is. I probably could even hit that earlier. But yeah, you can hit Rodan super early. You have a lot of time to react to it. It's very punishable. Once you get Rodan knocked down, you can go for missiles, you can go for building throws. I usually go for a building. And you definitely want to use back kick against Rodan because it does extra damage, and Rodan has very little health. So yeah, missiles are good. I got lucky Rodan tried to do beam on get up. Reverse kind of the method of knockdown with either back kick or a building. Shoot missiles. Rodan will avoid your missiles pretty often, like just will fly around, so really only go for missiles if Rodan's knocked down or committing to a beam or something. Or like, obviously if Rodan has no meter, that means no flight, but even then, Rodan's walk speed's pretty decent. So if Rodan has no meter and is walking towards you, it's okay to missile, but if Rodan's kind of evading you on the ground with no meter, probably not the greatest time to missile. There's a lot of buildings that can get stuck on. I wish that building hit, that's unfortunate, but these missiles here will connect on get up. Once again, we do a barrier skip, and we can move right along without a victory animation. On the Ghidorah, this is a great character to demonstrate a whole loop of building throw and missiles. We're gonna go right to this opening here. Sometimes Ghidorah will be aggressive and approach you or charge up a beam. If that happens, just walk forward, back kick, wait for a get up attack. While that's happening, charge up your beam, get up attack will whiff if Ghidorah didn't roll towards you. Well, just barely whiff, don't panic, and you can get a full charge beam, get a little bit of damage. But Ghidorah was silly this time, it just ran away, so I don't get to demonstrate that whole setup. But there's a lot of throwable buildings here. Ghidorah unfortunately took one, which is cringe, but we still have plenty. We have two here. Be cautious with your spacing. If you walk over these, they will be destroyed. I call those walkables. It's just stuff you can walk over and they'll fall apart. These two are throwable. There's two here for throwable. This one is. So you have plenty of buildings to throw Ghidorah and get your cycles going. I avoid the building throw there. I was going to pick this up, I spaced it correctly, but Ghidorah shoots out a beam. AIs will do this if you see you picking up stuff and they don't have anything going on. They'll just do a little tap at you. Be cautious of it. I get lucky this time. Ghidorah goes into a flight. It's too far away to hit me with an aerial beam. Actually, around here probably would have hit. I'm surprised AI didn't go for it. And then building will instantly knock Ghidorah down. That's the time to missile. And I land a few of them there. A lot of beams get shot off. Not a big deal though, I do a few back kicks. Second one hits, we get a knockdown, I go for a building throw. So I wasn't sure about that timing, then I shoot out missiles. Not too many of them hit, unfortunately. Do another building throw, send out another set of missiles. Ghidorah is going for the rage there. So that was another good time to throw it out. Wasn't in the evasive mood, was in more mood to go for power up. The AIs have different moods they're in. There's like an aggressive mood where they kind of charge at you. There's a beam spammy one. There's one where they kind of run around and try to get power ups and such. There's a walk away and defensive one where they just walk away from you and block all your stuff perfectly, which is when you want to use your unblockable projectiles. That was the power up move, so I got some extra missiles, and luckily there's a rage right there, which is super fortunate. Rage is also good and gives you more missiles. It gives you a full never set along with all your projectiles. Rage does do the most damage up close, and you're invincible once it pops off. So you want to try to do that point blank. I was a little bit far away for it, but I saw Ghidorah really didn't have much health left. It's not that much, so I was just kind of like, yep, I hope the missiles finish off Ghidorah. I was right in that bet. So it's not a cycle of getting knocked down with building a back kick, do your missiles, and just doing that over and over again. Because I can avoid your missiles if you get a knockdown. That's really the method there. That's the idea. Unless they're all, but, just don't have them roll easy. Now, usually they won't roll away. I haven't had that too much in my experience. Especially if you give them the hallway, there's not much they can do about it. And yeah, I'm too far away to get a barrier skip. You do need to land into the barrier to actually skip the animation. Just jumping won't do it. If you're just in the air, it'll just fall down and not do anything. You'll just stand there and stand around for a little bit and not save any time. So you need to be in that hit stun of a barrier. But on the Megalon, want to guess how far Megalon's beam goes? If you played the game, you know it goes nowhere. it's so bad. It does not go full length. Now, we only have 2 characters who don't have full length beams or Anguirus and Destroya, and Destroya's sucks you back in, and Anguirus is a wide hitbox, so like they have trade-offs. Megalon just doesn't. Megalon has no trade-off. It's just bad. So if Megalon starts him a beam, it can just walk away, pick up a building, and throw it at him. I should have been more patient there so Megalon did the jump. I don't know why none of those grabs worked, but the game's just funny like that. So, once you get Megalon in range here, like if Megalon stays on the other side of the bridge, you can just throw stuff at them once they're stationary and things will hit. Now, if Megalon jumps over, and you can get a grab, which is what you should be kind of fishing for here. You can throw Megalon down this hallway, there's another hallway over here. I believe there's a part where we can see it when the camera pans over, but kind of down here, Megalon got stuck in this building here, so a lot of missiles. These little buildings down here are explosive and they will do damage if you stand over them. So I get a little bit of extra combo there. Throw another building, another knockdown, do some more missiles. Then Megalon gets comboed into the barrier. A few missiles miss. That building didn't connect, unfortunately. I got pushed away from that beam. That move didn't hit. A lot of things just didn't connect there. I used my unblockable. Because Megalon is a very difficult character who walks away and blocks a lot of your stuff. Megalon can be very campy, can be very evasive, blocks a lot of stuff, so use your unblockables. So I use Chest Beam, I use my Aerial Beam, and I landed the kick. And since we threw Megalon down this hallway, we're right next to a barrier. So use your unblockables, use building throws, outspace Megalon's beam, and if Megalon digs, just fly. Your fly will outlast Megalon's dig. It's like the AI will just kind of dig under you and come back up to try to get the grab, but you're in the air, so you're good. You don't need to worry about it. You're going to get a free punish to do as you wish. But yeah, Megalon and Ghidorah are both kind of characters that you have to understand how to combat the AIs. There's not a very rigid, like, you do this for this stage, if it doesn't work, you reset, but if it does, you move forward. You need to be kind of flexible with how things go, like there's general strategies, like you get Ghidorah into that one spot with all the buildings, like you hope you can get Megalon down one hallway. There's a few different spots, like a few different corners you can get Megalon into. There's one pretty close to there, it's that corner, in your right spot, off to the right there. So like, there's those vague strategies, but there's nothing like too specific you need to do. Like with Anguirus, it's very straightforward of what you do there. Those 2 characters you need to be kind of flexible with. Same thing with Rodan, really. It's also a flexible character. But Destroya is very different. Destroya is not a character that you have a flexible strategy with. It's do or don't. This is where runs go to die. Like a run can die on any of these characters, but Destroya is a big one where they can die. So we spawn in the hallway, perfect, easy setup. I start with back kick personally, because that gets Destroya and knockdown. I know sometimes if you use a beam or missiles early, Destroya just hops over this bridge and it's you over, so you don't get destroyed in this little corner here we're about to see. And if you have to actually fight Destroya, it's awful. If you fought Destroya ever in this game, you understand why. Unblockable, disjointed hitboxes, great projectiles, super obnoxious. It just constantly hits you when you're knocked down. Huge time loss, just don't even bother fighting Destroya. I'm so glad this skip exists, because Destroya will be the least fun character to fight normally. So you just get destroyed down this hallway, hit your missiles. When characters launch like this, when you shoot missiles, this is scary, sometimes they'll just miss. Once again, the game can't track characters in the air very well. Luckily, Destroya doesn't move too much, and I get delaying most of my missiles. I get a full charge beam here. Once again, bouncing off the wall, getting a little extra damage. Surprisingly a bit low, but like Destroya has a good amount of health left, so usually it'll be a bit lower. And you really need like 1 or 2 more hits here. So I have to fight Destroya a little bit, and you can already see how obnoxious this is. I got pushed back with a laser katana unblockable. There's a beam I have to sit through. But luckily, I get hit in. A few hits in, and then I get a building throw, and like, this is GG. And there you go. So you want to use those buildings once you've landed all your missiles and your beam, because it's usually a pretty solid way to finish off Destroya. It's like, that's not the worst Destroya split I've ever seen. It's not amazing though, but it gives you the general idea of how this works. If that once again do your barrier skip. Now we move on to the worst stage in the run. This is, like, once again, all of these characters can end your run, but Godzilla by far has ended most of my runs. This character is awful to play against. And the character is overall very honest, like very well designed, but the AI they made for Godzilla is so toxic. So when you're playing with this character, Godzilla will run away the entire time, block all of your stuff perfectly, will space you out with tail amazingly, use projectiles super well, hide behind cover, every tactic to waste your time. I mean, I get lucky and Godzilla hops over here for some reason. So yeah, at the start, I'm gonna be on opposite sides of this pillar here. I'm gonna walk over to here, grab this rock. Godzilla will sometimes hop right over to this pillar and just kind of walk around it, or I'll shoot a beam at it and it'll destroy this. A few different options. This is pretty rare, but it's really good. So I pick up the rock, and Godzilla jumps away. And this run could have been over. Godzilla ran over here, or ran around here. This run could have been over. But Godzilla runs back over here for some reason. I got so lucky with this split. I'm just gonna be real, yo, this is super good RNG. This has nothing to do with what I did. I just got really lucky with this. There's stuff you can influence, stuff you can react to, but this is just blatantly lucky. Walks over to be in close range and charges beam. Pre-hit right back to the wall. Clips inside of this rock here. Teleports inside of this one. Teleports again. It's like when a character kind of gets clipped into a building, it just kind of pushes them out. And Godzilla gets pushed all the way into the volcano here. And this volcano is very important for this fight. Whenever a character walks around on this lava here, it deals damage to them, and Godzilla likes to walk around a lot. So it's a great combination for just slowly whittling away the health. Meanwhile, we get to do all of our usual tactics. And then there's plenty of rocks here, plenty of boulders you can throw at Godzilla. So those are also helpful, but just be aware of when Godzilla is kind of too close for you to grab those rocks or is charging a beam. Just something to be cautious about. And then throw Godzilla over here. Because if you throw Godzilla along this wall, you like to hug the wall and just kind of strafe around to avoid your missiles. Meanwhile, this is a corner. So if Godzilla's over here, Godzilla's going to think about trying to escape, to evade you, so they'll try to break down this wall and just run around a bit more. Be sure to get off your missiles before Godzilla breaks all the way through. So immediately I'm going for missiles. I created this little corner here. Godzilla's trying to get in to destroy those. He's trapped in, gets hit by a bunch of missiles. See UFO here. They do like to spawn in power-ups in like the center of this volcano, which is nothing to worry about. They can spawn anything, energy, health, rage. So be very careful about it. If something spawns, grab it so Godzilla doesn't have it. Because if Godzilla gets something, it can be very difficult to deal with. More health obviously is bad. Rage is bad, so that's AoE area, covers the whole volcano. It can steal time. If Godzilla gets energy, they'll just spam beam and he won't be able to play the game. Luckily nothing spawns in. Godzilla just throws out a move for some reason and eats the beam. Super fortunate, very lucky to get that. Everything worked out exactly the way it should, but don't expect that to always happen. Godzilla will not cooperate, and you will have to fight Godzilla to get him in the volcano. You'll have to grab over and over again. Sometimes Godzilla just splats on one of those walls, falls down. You get a little bit of a hole, throw Godzilla over it, and then you have to break it down a bit with maybe a rock or something so you can get your missiles in. So this is all very fortunate, all lined up perfectly. But it's not always going to be quite that easy. It will be difficult. I know this made it look easy, but I'm being very honest with you. Godzilla is obnoxious, and you might have to reset a lot on it. So if you're having a hard time with it, it's not you. It's just hard. I know this made it look not that bad, but like there's a reason this is a gold. It is not normally this easy. This is the absolute best I've seen this play out for me, at least. So just keep that in mind once you're running it. It will be hard. Just try your best to get Godzilla in here, land most of your missiles, maybe a few rocks. That's the general plan. Get Godzilla in a corner here, and hope for the best. But yeah, see the spawn of rage there. So if you see rage, pick it up. That can be good. So you're in close range, you'll land a lot of that. This rage is the most effective up close. At least for Mechagodzilla. Like you get to land all your missiles and your projectiles and all your funny stuff. Alright, Mecha Ghidorah. A character's name who's so long we couldn't fit it in the entire UI. It's just Mecha Ghidorah, no Kane. But this is the final character. It's pretty straightforward, a super short fight, as you can tell by time here. So we have a bunch of different walls. You want to get Ghidorah kind of in between here by these barriers. So usually what I do is I just charge up a beam and hope it all works out. You made it this far. If you've gotten this far and things have worked out with RNG, you're probably just lucky. You got the luck on your side, just go for it. Like, it's super fortunate. Ghidorah's right in there. Right in the corner. It's perfect. You got a good amount of damage from your beams. Mecha Ghidorah has, like, just no health. I got a little bit scared there because that shifted Ghidorah closer to the building, but luckily the missiles pushed right back into the corner, and once we started hitting I knew it was over. Because that's it. Ghidorah just dies. You don't even need all the missiles. Those last few there were overkill. You don't even need to land all of them. This fight is so short. So if we play it out in full speed, let's watch this. This is good. It's like Mecha King Ghidorah is super obnoxious. Best character in the game. Has a block that covers highs, lows, and unblockable projectiles. Heal Mecha King Ghidorah. Super annoying character. Luckily we don't have to fight him. We just hope we get the character to this corner here and you just win. That's the plan. You don't have to play the fight. It's just like Destroya. Hope you don't actually have to do the fight. And it'll be over in a couple of seconds and boom, you have a run. Congratulations, you survived. You went through a lot of really annoying characters who run away and block you. And that's the run. Did I make it appealing? Does it look fun? If anyone, for when you're submitting the run, just make sure to get to the leaderboard here so I can see your in-game time. It's just another thing to help verify that you didn't use like any cheats or any of that. Never extra little layer to verify. I can see, oh, like in-game time is 3:39. So if I go back, see, oh, it's 3:39 here. Then the run's over. So it's just an extra little thing to verify. I'll keep an eye on like that timer there. We can see that's consistent throughout the whole run. So it's just an extra little thing you want to make sure your run gets verified. Have that in there. And yeah, that's it. That's the guide. Does the game look fun? Did I advertise it well? This is a very fun game casually, but you do need to be very patient with the runs, so don't feel like, oh, I'm bad, I can't do this. Just keep trying, be patient. Eventually they'll cooperate. Get a better feel for how the AI works and everything, so you can identify what we're going for. So I do stay in those modes for a little bit until like, you reset their mentality. I'm just got like a good feel for how everything works, which will take a little bit of time. But trust me, you will learn it. It'll all make sense eventually. Just have that patience and endurance and keep going at it. Like if you look here, my runs counter, it says 390. You need to be patient and just keep trying. So it'll be difficult, it'll be upsetting, and you may need breaks, but never give up. That's all, stay fresh.